Hello everybody, I think many people have seen the Kinder Country bar like this in the store. Let's open it up. It looks like just some kind of small chocolate. You need to cut into it and look inside. So, milk chocolate is on the outside. Inside there is a dense white filling and crispy cereal. I wonder what it tastes like. A cool candy bar with crispy little additions. So today we will cook the exact same thing, only 1,000 times bigger. Let's go. The most important thing is to make a high quality mold, and our dad's gonna help us out with that. We wrap a plywood sheet and fix it with adhesive tape. The parchment should be well stretched so that there are no folds. The bottom is ready. Now we are armed with a screwdriver and corners. We fasten them to the plywood. Now you need to cut the plywood for the walls with an electric jigsaw. We also wrap them in parchment and put them in their places. We cut the ceiling skirt board at 45 degrees and join them inside our mold. In the middle, a metal corner should pass along the entire shape. You also need to cut the corner into small pieces. We assemble our form as a constructor. Now you just need to fix all of this with the help of thermal glue, so that later, at the most crucial moment, none of this seeps out. At this point, the form is completely ready. And we will buy the food products to make up our Kinder Country. So, milk chocolate, we bought 30 kilograms. Sugar, 13 kilograms. Powdered milk, we bought 2 whole bags of 25 kilograms. Palm oil, a 20 kilogram box. It also consists of crispy cereal, namely Air Wheat, Air Rice, Air Barley, and Air Buckwheat. We couldn't find this though, so we'll make it ourselves from ordinary buckwheat. It's pretty simple. So pour 1 kilogram of buckwheat into a saucepan. Pour in 2 liters of water. And put it on to cook until all the water evaporates. Done. We remove it from the stove and scatter it onto 4 baking sheets. We distribute it with a spatula so that there is a layer of the same thickness everywhere. Done. We push the baking sheets into the oven. Set to only 50 degrees in the convection mode. We need to wait 5 hours, and then you can take it out. We're left with completely dry boiled buckwheat. Now for the last step. To do this, we will prepare a deep fryer. You're going to need to heat the oil to more than 200 degrees, and now we throw our buckwheat into it. It starts to explode and pop like popcorn. Give this video a like if you didn't know that you can make popcorn from buckwheat. We lift the sieve and shake off all the excess oil. There you go, popped buckwheat onto the paper towels. And we repeat this many more times. Now we have all the airy cereals we need. Next ingredient we're going to need is animal fat. We grab some butter. Soy lecithin was also bought. And the last one is vanilla. We will use natural vanilla pods. And all of this will go into our Kinder Country. Chocolate is first in line. We open up a box. And pour 10 kilograms of milk chocolate into the Marmite. Periodically mix it until it all completely melts. Done. We take our form, and first of all we will smear all the joints with hot chocolate, so that then the bulk of the chocolate does not flow into them. Now we pour in the remaining chocolate. and evenly distributed according to the shape. It's set now. Now inside the mold, we put another wall wrapped with food wrap. They will not allow the white filling to reach the main walls, and there will be room for chocolate. We fix them in with clamps. We take palm oil out of the box. Using a machete, we cut this briquette in half and put it into pots. We got some butter. We open them up. And 2 packages into each pan. We put it on the stove and heat it up. Open up some sugar. And pour it into the melted butter. We thought that the sugar would dissolve in the warm oil, but this didn't happen. Well, that's alright. We take 2 huge basins, open up some bags of powdered milk, and pour in 25 kilograms into each basin. Now we need some vanilla. We take the pads out of the bag. High quality vanilla must be oily. So we cut them lengthwise and scrape the seeds with a knife. This is the most valuable and fragrant part. We dump it into a bowl and continue to get the seeds. We scatter them evenly, but do not throw out the shells, because they're also very fragrant. So we send them into the dryer. We set it for 70 degrees and turn it on. We will dry them for 5 hours. Cut them into short pieces. And send them into the coffee grinder. Here they will turn into a powder. Done. The vanilla powder is also scattered into the basins. Here we also pour melted palm oil with sugar. And now all this needs to be mixed with a huge mixer. We're left with a mass similar to cottage cheese. So we mix 2 basins. Now we need a mélanger and turn it on. We collect this mass with a saucepan and pour it into the mélanger. Now we need soy lecithin. It'll help mix the products at the molecular level and make them thinner. 30 minutes later, the mass has become homogeneous. Turn off the mélanger and pour the contents into the mold. Even with the addition of soy lecithin, the mass turned out to be really thick. Now we need to add some airy cereals. For this batch, we use Air Wheat, we press it into the white mass and make a second batch of the filling. And to make it even thinner, we melted a little bit of palm oil and pour it into the melon jar. Knead for another 30 minutes. And pour it into the mold. This time the mass turned out to be what you need. And we'll add in some air buckwheat. Mix it with the filling. So, our third filling. Add some airy rice into it. And mix it in too. To the fourth filling, add the exploded barley. We continue to fill the form in the same way. Now we wait for the solidification of the white mass. We remove the clamps, unscrew the screws, and remove all the walls. We're left with an even layer of filling. Now we return only the outer walls back, and fix them in place. We have an even cavity for the chocolate layer. Therefore, it's time to open up the milk chocolate and set it into the marmite. But this time, the chocolate needs to be more liquidy, so we add more oil and mix it all well with the chocolate. Now that's right, it's done. We scoop the chocolate into a cup and fill the walls of our giant Kinder Country. The chocolate was enough to fill all the walls, and even the thin layer of the bottom. So we need it thicker, so we'll melt some more chocolate. Pour it out into the middle of the mold. And use a wide spatula to level it out. Now we just need to wait until the chocolate sets. Done. In order to get the Kinder Country out of the mold, put on some plywood and fix it with the corners. Now we need elevations, to which we carefully turn our shape. That's it, you can take everything apart. During disassembly, we slightly damaged the bar. Therefore, you're going to have to fix it up with some hot chocolate. Just cover up all the gaps. On each cube of the original Kinder chocolate, there is such a spike. To repeat it, we will make a stencil. We cut it out with the jigsaw from thin fiberboard. And after 3 hours, it's done. We apply it to the cube. In scratching, we outline the stencil first from the outside, and then the inside. Done. So you need to do this 9 more times. Now 1,000 times enlarged copy of our Kinder Country is ready. In my opinion, it turned out practically one and the same. Let's cut out a piece. Hello everyone. Today, as I promised, we will prepare a giant donut weighing 120 kilograms. Let's go. We're going to the store. We bought 6 liters of butter, 40 kilograms of flour, ,40 kilograms of sugar, many packs of mastic, baking powder, starch, many different dyes, frozen strawberries, ,8 kilograms of condensed milk, 2 boxes of chicken eggs. We put all this onto the cash register. And all these products cost $356. We begin to prepare the dough. We open up the boxes. We take out the trays with the eggs. And now we split our towers from the chicken eggs. We split our towers of the chicken eggs and put 2 plastic containers on the table. Now we divide each egg into the yolk and protein. Nothing complicated, but we have 630 of them. It took 2 hours to separate all of them. Done. We have completely filled the containers. And now we take 3 large basins. We scoop up the yolks with a measuring cup and pour the same amount into the basins. Now we need sugar. We open up the bags. ,40 kilograms of sugar is scattered into each basin. Also pour in 1 liter of water. With the help of a construction mixer, we mix them. The mass should increase in volume and turn white. Now you need 6 liters of oil. Open it. And pour the same amount into each basin. What kind of dough would it be without flour? We open it. And we scatter 40 kilograms into the basins. For this blender of the dough, we add baking powder. Open it, and put half a kilogram in each basin. And once again, we mix thoroughly with a construction mixer. In the process, we also added water, as the dough turned out to be very thick. Now we return to the chicken whites. We need 4 mixers and 1 standing mixer. We scoop up the whites with a measuring cup and set exactly 300 milliliters into the bowl. And for the mixers, we measure twice as much, 150 each, and we fill them up. Turn it on. Right now, we have 5 servings of proteins whipped at the same time. We are waiting for them to turn into a foam. We send proteins from 4 small bowls into 2 basins. In the 3rd basin, the bowl from the stand mixer. Gently using a spatula, we mix this foam into the dough to preserve as many air bubbles as possible. We made a small mini conveyor, and while one person measures and whips, the second, that is, me, mixes them into the dough. And so for 3 hours. That's it, the dough is finally ready. And it's become much liquidier. The only way to make a large-sized donut is to bake it in the custom-made mold. It looks like just a factory one. We open the oil into the can and sprinkle it from the inside. Now let's glue on some parchment to it. You need to cover the whole mold with it. And finally, we pour the dough from all 3 basins into the mold. Done. We will bake the dough in our huge oven. Now in total with the baking sheet, all this weighs 150 kilograms. We transfer it into the oven. And push it in. But that's not all. The mold needs to be raised and put a brake disc with a bearing under it. Now this structure can be rotated very easily. Ignite the burners, and we close the oven. We need to maintain a temperature of 160 degrees. Every 2 hours, we will slightly open the doors, pull the rope, and turn the mold so that the dough is evenly baked. And while the donut is being baked, we will make a cream that will go inside. We open up the frozen strawberries, pour them into a large saucepan. We put it on the stove. And in half an hour, the strawberries should defrost and let the juice out. Add 2 kilograms of sugar. Mix that thoroughly with an immersion blender. Now we add the condensed milk. Cut through the film and squeeze the condensed milk into a saucepan. Now we open up 2 kilograms of starch. Also pour that into the saucepan. And knead until smooth. In order to break up the lumps really well, we use a whisk. And add some pink dye. We mix that up. After that, we pour this mass into strawberry. Mix it up, and it starts to thicken. We need a thick custard like this. Unwinding a special bag for the vacuum cleaner, we cut off about 1 meter, and we dissolve it along. We solder 3 such long packages together into one large one. Now it turns out a very large pastry bag. We cut off the tip of it. We push the iron tube through and fix it with plastic ties. Now we cut off all the excess. And we fill the bag with our berry cream. That's it, it's full. We return to the glaze. To do this, we cut in half a lot of lemons. With the help of such a special machine, we squeeze the juice out of all of them. The machine squeezes the juice right to the maximum, much more convenient and faster than with your hands. Done. It turned out to be a whole bowl of sour lemon juice. Now let's paint it pink. The second thing you need to do for the glaze is powdered sugar. Lots of powdered sugar. We open it and send it all to a large basin. Then pour in parts of the tinted lemon juice. Mix it up. Now we'll get the consistency of a very thick glaze. For the last preparatory stage, we open up the mastic. Now this is quite dense. Therefore, we send it into the microwave. When heated, it is much softer. In 4 briquettes of mastic, we add the different dyes. Mix all that well with your hands until all the dyes go in. Done. We shift it into a square shape. We press the mastic with our hands. We repeat the same thing with each color. Then we just cut it into slices. We get this kind of increased sprinkling. We got all the colors like this. The donut is already cooked. We take it out of the oven and bring it into the studio. To turn it all in, we install a special cover. We snap it on. Turn it over. And unsnap the fasteners. Now we lift off the mold. And we tear off all the unnecessary parchment. Now it can be moved to the table. The shape turned out to be a little bit wrong, but in general it looks like a donut. We push in the cooking bag, and we push out more cream. Now for the glaze. Just pour it all over the top of the donut. And now the last thing, we spread out the multicolored sprinkles. Done. As I promised, we cooked a very huge donut weighing as much as 120 kilograms, and it took 3 whole days to prepare it. I think it's worthy of your like and for you to subscribe to the channel. Let's cut it open and see what's inside. There's just so much cream. Let's try a piece.